We're going to take a look here at how you could merge two trees together. Now, why would you want to do this? Maybe a distant cousin has their own family tree, and you'd like to merge it into yours. It's pretty simple to do, although there are 3 requirements that must be followed. The first one is kind of obvious. You have to be able to import both of the trees into Tree Viewer. Secondly, and this is more difficult, you cannot have any duplicate individuals in both trees. The same person cannot appear in both trees. And thirdly, we need a way to link the trees together. So someone in the second tree has to be related in some way to someone in the first tree, and then we can link the trees back together again. So assuming you can follow those 3 requirements, everything else is simple. This is a Clarkson tree that we've used before. We'll be concentrating on Robert Gilbert, who has been married, and his wife's family has their own tree, and now we want to merge those 2 trees together. Here's their tree. It's a Thompson's tree. His wife is Mary Jane Thompson, married Robert. They have 3 children. One of their children is also married. Now, in order to do the merge, the second rule was that we cannot have the same person in both trees. So if Robert is going to be in this tree, he cannot be in the other tree, or vice versa. The problem here is if I delete Robert from this tree, that also hides his children, because the link will be broken. They won't be deleted, but they just won't be linked to anything. So in this case, I think it's easier to delete Robert from the Clarkson tree. So let's import the Clarkson tree again. Now we're going to choose Robert, and we're going to delete him. And now we'll save this tree. And we only need it for doing the merge, so when we're finished we can delete it again, but we do have to save it at the moment. So I'm just going to call it Clarkson's without Robert. Lovely name. Clarkson's without Robert. We'll save that. Now we can start the merge. So we'll go to the GEDCOM Files button, choose Merge 2 Trees. Now notice on the new dialog that comes up, there's a repeat of the 3 rules. Have to be able to import them, cannot be duplicates, has to be a way to link them. And just a reminder that you should be exporting the current tree if you haven't done so already, but we have. So we'll now bring in our 2 files. One is Clarkson's without Robert. The second one is Thompson's. Now what do we want to call the resulting file? We'll call it Clarkson's 4. And then click Create Merged Family Tree. It's done, but this says the trees have not been joined together, so we need to open the Details panel and finish the merge by linking someone in the second tree to someone in the first tree, and then you should export the result. So here's what we've got so far. You can't see any of the Thompsons yet because there's no link. So what is our link? Let's come into Details. The link is Robert. So we're going to do a search for Robert Gilbert. There he is with his partner, their 3 children. The thing we don't have here is a link into the first tree. In the first tree we have Robert's parents. It's Melinda Clarkson and Paul Gilbert. So we'll add a link to them as Robert's parents. And now when we close the details panel, we'll see the merged tree. There's Robert and Mary Jane and their children and their children's children. Now what we're not seeing here is the full Thompson family tree, and that's because they're not part of the Clarkson family. However, if we go to the search button and do a search for Vincent Thompson, we can see that their tree is here. It is merged into the Clarkson tree. Let's go back to Clarkson, starting with William Clarkson. So that's how we can merge two family trees together. I think we didn't do a final export, which you should do. So we'll go back to the GEDCOM files, do an export of the full tree, and we'll call it Clarkson's Thompson's. If we draw the tree, this is the result.